Brother Lee, can you expand on the thing about birthdays, if you don't mind, really quickly before brother Benayah goes?
Yeah, well, Benayah, can you hear Benayah?
Nope.
Can you unmute him? There you go. Why does it sound like that? Benayah, we would really love to hear from you, but for some reason your audio is not right. I don't know what's going on with that.
Sounds all right to me.
Write it down.
We've got to work on that. Before I touch on that birthday thing, Henry.
Yeah.
This is a much better presentation than the first, and I can only trust that they will get better as far as the audio and the presentation and the tight package. It's much more streamlined. So this is much better than the first. Pertaining to birthdays, we know clearly we're not supposed to celebrate our day. Once you're born, you're coming into all your troubles. All your troubles are before you. Yeah. And so therefore, that's why the Most High caused the house to collapse upon Job's children, for they were celebrating birthdays. I don't celebrate birthdays. I just don't. I don't go to any birthday parties.
No.
Someone tells me, hey, it's my birthday. I just tell them, I wish you many more years of life and success or something of that nature. But as far as me telling them happy birthday, no. I don't. And I don't celebrate birthdays, and I don't give anyone any gifts on their birthdays or anything of the like. So that's where I am on the birthdays.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. Well said, brother. One way, I just use deductive reasoning, and if it doesn't line up with the Book of Remembrance, then I know it's the word of man, and I just don't do it. Easter, Halloween, whatever they're talking about, if it's not there in the book, then it's not of Yah and it's not of us.
Okay.
I think it's so important that when they're small, they seem like small things, but they're big things to our communities. So it's important to, like, when we talk about the Sabbath, and why is it from Friday to Saturday and not Sunday as the Christians or the Catholics follow?
Then other people do the Sabbath different ways, but anyway, that's for another talk. So we'll end it in about 5 more minutes.
I just want to say one thing. Henry, again, what Lee said, I'm going to reiterate that. This is a very, very informative talk in many, many ways, you know, and I think with the knowledge of Dave and Lee, and hopefully Yahuwah, yeah, I hope that we can all keep doing this and speak on this level, because I know I'm going to be finding out a lot more things that will be very beneficial to us and for us to tell others, because sometimes even the smallest thing we found out could lead someone on the right path. So it's all relevant to me. To me, it's all relevant, because I wasn't even searching for the Most High at first. I was just searching for the truth, and that led me to the Most High. So if other people out there who are going to be looking for the truth, that will lead them to the Most High, even when they don't even know it. So it's really important for us to obviously touch on subjects that we know about, but I feel a lot of it is relevant for people listening who may not have the knowledge that we have about truth as we know it. That's all I've got to say. So it's a great talk today. So I really appreciate you, Henry, for inviting me. Bless you for that, brother.
Well said, Brother Delvin. Because Brother Lee, as you said time and time again, the Most High and the truth are synonymous. So when you seek one, the other comes right with it. And I just took a few notes. Go ahead, Brother Delvin.
No, that is a very, very important point. That's basically what I was trying to say. You know, that's how Dave found the truth. He wasn't looking for the Most High. He just found out certain things. And when I watched Dave speak about, it was at the Globe Earth tour. Is that right, Dave? The Globe Earth tour with you and Rob Skiba.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind, literally, because I knew about there's going to be an exodus. There's going to be an exodus. It's going to be huge. And I knew, but I didn't know anybody else. There was no brothers talking about the truth or Israelites. And when I also found Dave's website that says, "Black man, do you know who you are?" My goodness me, all of us have to tell people to look at that For me, was so informative for me, and it's so well explained. And they will tell you that when he showed me his book that he was writing, it blew my mind, because I just thought, wow, this is what I've been looking for all this time. The knowledge that's coming out of this is very, very important. And it's led me a lot of different ways, you know. What I'm saying is more important than anything, because when Lee then expressed how he was feeling about the situation, when I got that information from Heny, I was like, wow, there are some brothers out there who are looking for the truth and finding the Most High and willing to tell others about what they know. I didn't think that existed. So when I saw Dave on the Globe Earth tour, and he mentioned that there is going to be an Exodus, and nobody else elaborated on that point in the whole of that talk, no one else mentioned anything, I thought, I got to meet Dave. I got to meet Dave, because that's what I want to find out more about, and no one was talking about it. And then that's obviously when I spoke to Heny, and he mentioned you, Lee, and Dave, and I met Dave. It got me on the right journey. So this will hopefully help other brothers on their journey as well. And Brother Kwame down there, it can take you way out there. But if you're looking for the right thing, the Most High will bring you straight in line. And I think we're all on the right kind of line right now, and we got to just keep doing it. So respect, Brother Prince.
Brother Benaya, is your audio working?
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Maybe try. Can you try it on his phone? Maybe.
He is. It's on his phone. Is he muted that?
He needs to
unplug
everything. Unplug everything and replug it. That's what
it's not. It's not working.
Isn't right. Something isn't in
it's
right.
It's connecting to audio right now.
Is it? Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
Maybe
it's somehow it's not working. Well, I can say this much. As men of the house of Israel, we are blessed, for we have been chosen to be awakened in this generation. And that is very important. When we do have this meeting, and it feels really good to sit down and speak with brothers who have the Most High within their hearts. All I can reiterate to all of you on the panel, let's not be as others when we come before our people to address them. And also let's keep in mind that we are also to address the nations. So there are people who are not of our people, who don't look anything like us, that's seeking this word as well. And that when we step forth as holy people, we are at no time when we sit on these panels such as this to bring forth any profanity at all. Cannot be done. If we're going to be here and speak and profess the Most High, we cannot come out of our mouth with any vulgarities, for we are addressing the holy people, and we have got to come to them with holy messages, holy words. We cannot speak to our people in a disrespectful manner, and we certainly cannot come up here and have any profanity. So if we can continue forward without any of those going forward, that would be a great thing. Now, as far as the truth goes, I'm certainly love Dave's channel. I've been there for a while. I look at his videos. It is great to see that progression. As far as the Most High goes, the Most High says he changes not. And that's very important, because when we look at truth, truth is the one thing in the earth that remains the same, whether it be in the past, the present, or the future. So it doesn't matter what time that we're awakened, the truth will always remain the same. And that is the Most High. And that's a beautiful thing. And that we can always reference that truth and turn to it regardless of what generation that we're awakened in, and we will get the same answers. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And that solidifies that Most High is real, and he is indeed truth, because truth is the one thing in the earth that cannot be changed by anyone.
Yes, sir. Well said, brother. Brother Heny, I must apologize. I know that 5 minutes ran out 15 minutes ago.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yes, sir. I had a few points over here I just wanted to close with. You know, during our talks, there was something that was very pertinent to me when I started reading the Book of Remembrance. Being from Nigeria, when I grew up there, and we have the Igbo people in Nigeria. There's a tradition that they practice where when a man dies, a married man dies without having a son, it's his brother's responsibility to marry the widow and bear a son. And I used to think that was very odd growing up. I'm like, man, like, why do we do this? Like, this seems really weird. And then it wasn't until getting into the book of remembrance, I saw that was actually reaffirmed in Genesis. And I was like, wow, this is our people practicing Israelite traditions this entire time, unbeknownst to us. So I found that really interesting. Brother Delvin, when you were talking about how these explanations of truth when you were younger were being told to you and they weren't quite resonating with you, that really hit me, because I watched several of Dave's videos when he's like, yeah, revisit the first time you thought about this question and you heard an unsatisfactory answer and you went with it. And recently I just had this flashback of being in grade 3 and my teacher telling me that the earth is spinning, but you can't feel it because it's like being in a car. When the car turns, you can't feel it. And I was like, all right, he's the teacher, so I guess that works. So it's like, I encourage all our brothers and sisters that are watching and hearing this to revisit that first thing that didn't make sense, that they just accepted. And then that's the step, because you don't believe or disbelieve something right off the bat. You have to do that research to the point where you can't continue to believe what you used to believe, or you convince yourself enough that what you now currently know is the truth. And another thing you said, Brother Delvin, is the things that you lost in the process of coming upon this truth. It's heart-wrenching at first when the people around you are just not ready to go on that journey with you, and they think you're losing touch with reality, being it partners, significant others, families, friends, jobs, you name it, to a point where the people who actually are speaking truth feel like they have to be pushed into the closet because they don't want to come across as weirdos or outcasts or whatever the case may be. Because I do know that the truth can seem to alienate us sometimes. However, I would encourage that we constantly speak it, because at the end of the day, the Most High is going to vindicate us in truth. Because what happens is, whether people are ready to accept the message or not, we've planted seeds. So when they come upon the information again, they're like, oh, I think I heard that somewhere before. Maybe I should look into that. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's very important, because only when you're ready, you could hear truth, but you don't take it in until you're ready to accept the message. As far as what we're doing right now, I think it's extremely beneficial, us coming together. And, we might not be quite clear on some of the minutiae, but in terms of the majority of what our conversations encompass, being the Most High, His laws, statutes, precepts, judgments, and commandments, and walking in righteousness, we do all agree on that. And that is of the utmost importance. Like Dave said, that is hiding the Most High, or attempting to hide the Most High, is indeed the biggest lie, that they've attempted at shielding us, from truth. I feel as though now it's a matter of solution-based things. Obviously this continue to go on, hopefully, Yah willing. And I love what we're all doing in our individual pockets. Dave has these captivating videos, that he's like tailored with comedy and like great graphics and illustrations, and they're very captivating, not only for our people, but also, Brother Lee, like you said, for the strangers alike who are coming, this guy's onto something, and then they listen to something else and then becomes coherent, and it becomes a voice of reason and truth for us. Brother Lee, you're in the book. What I love about watching your lessons is that you're not coming off the top with anything. Anything you say, you can point right to where it's at in the book. And I feel like that's very important. So I feel as though we should all find our niches in how we contribute to this grand puzzle that we have in front of us. And we're all just kind of, filling in our roles, so to speak, and giving a clear idea of indeed what's going on. What I actually plan on doing, and Brother Lee, I know I've been promising you starting this channel for like year in, year out. I'm telling you, I'm getting there very soon, almost completed my studies. I'm going to actually begin from Genesis all the way to Malachi, page by page, just basically giving summarized versions of what each page is talking about, because I feel as though one reason why it's very difficult for not only our people, but people in general, to grasp the truth in the book of remembrance is that when it's being taught, it's starting off in Genesis, then jumping to Kings, and then coming back to something else. And that's great. Some people learn that way and they can understand. Others, like to follow things in chronological order. So again, speaking to the way that we teach our various things, I feel as though we're appealing to different types of learners who may very well get the bulk of information in one thing, but then cross-reference it with something else. So that's going to be my contribution. Yah willing, I pray the Most High will strengthen my hand, and then I can give like summarized versions of each page. So it's like, okay, you stopped, you know, Genesis, boom. Then you know, like right after that, you're going to go into Exodus, and then whatever the case may be. So you're just following the order of the story, the way it is in the Book of Remembrance, and you can just go page by page, chapter by chapter. And finally, I feel as though something that's very humbling for our people is realizing that in as much as we've come upon the truth, we still struggle with vices of our own, temptations, be it lust or wanting to fall into the traps of material things, whatever the case may be. And I just think it's very encouraging to let our people know that in as much as, yes, we have come upon the truth of who the Most High is, creator of heaven and earth, Holy One of Israel, we're still human, you know, and we struggle with our day to day. And I find it's very important to share stories of our struggles with them, so they know they're not alone, and that we're all tackling this as a family. And indeed, by the Most High's grace, He'll bestow righteousness upon us. They'll allow us to shun evil away as best as we possibly can. And that's what I got. I love you all sincerely. Thank you so much for all you do. And, you know, I look forward to many more of these to come.
Well, I'll say one thing very, very quickly. Lee will back me up on this. You read Psalms, Jeremiah, Ezekiel 33 onwards, okay? The Most High, He shows Himself and what He will do many times. And the Most High's law and the Book of Remembrance is like two pillars, like a goalpost, yeah? The only thing that saves us in those goalposts is His mercy, you know, and brothers have to know that as well, because He's very merciful as He is terrible, you know, but He's there for all of us. And this age of disclosure now is why we got to keep doing this, get together and help other brothers. Because one thing what Dave said to me when I first met him, he was reaching out to brothers and there was no brothers listening. And I've been there, you know, but now things are different, whereby a lot of brothers now are listening. So we're going to make the most of this opportunity to enlighten them and infuse them into speaking and trying to find the truth as well. And that's it.
Well,
Sir.
one of the things that I'm going to take away from this is listening to Brother Lee. I'm going to have to be a bit more dedicated, a bit more disciplined. I've also got to finish my book. I've been doing all sorts of other things. Sorry, Lee, I don't have your email address, Lee, so I'm going to have to get that. I don't think I do, so I'm going to have to get that to send you my book. To see, cast your eye over it. Yeah,
it's a great book. It's a great read.
I'm certain, and I will read it.
Okay. Oops, sorry, my wheel just started up by itself. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get that done, and I have to put a lot of other things aside and really work on that, because I think it's knowledge that our brothers and sisters need to know at this time. So yeah, I'll send it to you and you cast your eye over it and see what you think.
Outstanding. I will certainly do that. Gentlemen, I tell you what, I'm pleased to sit down with brothers who have the Most High in their heart, to have a conversation where we may not necessarily all agree, but there is no contention, because the Most High, this law is the glue that keeps this family together. What I would like to see, and I would hope by us having these discussions and doing it in a righteous manner, that we can show the younger generation that our men can sit down, may not see eye to eye on a thing, but can do it with love, with caring, with respect, and do it in righteousness, while still having our eyes on the goal, which is to return our people back onto righteousness, that we may be reconciled back onto the Most High. Maybe it's just the fact that we're older men. But the thing is, if we can get the knowledge, the wisdom and understanding that we have right now between the 7 of us, if we can have that knowledge in our 10-year-olds, in our 15-year-olds, just imagine what our lives and our society would be. if the knowledge that we have now of this law, to where we don't run through our women, we don't murder our men, we don't abuse our wives, that we actually are to care for our people, care for our families, our homes, etc. And we're to walk in this law. And this was taught to us. And when we stepped out of line, we were punished for it by the men within our communities. Can you imagine what a people we would be if this knowledge that we currently have were instilled in us when we were children, and we had to adhere to it or be punished by those in the midst of us? We would be a totally different people. So hopefully us doing this as older men, I would hope that the younger would listen. And I can tell you what, I do believe that the younger people will listen, for they're seeing the chaos and the violence and all the things that's befalling the earth. And they're looking for answers too, and they're crying out for answers too. And many of the older men are acting like the young men. So we need older men who will stand up in their lot, who will stand up in this law and lead our people, because many of our older men have been part of the problem. So this is important for our youth, but also it's important for some of the men who are our ages and maybe older, who also may need some guidance and be set on the right path. So I think we're doing a great thing, and I hope that we can continue to do it in righteousness.
Just to go a bit wider than that, imagine a world where everyone is following the 10 Commandments. Yeah, the law, statutes, and commandments. That would be a completely different world. And
Certainly.
That's the world we're going into.
Yes, sir. And I can see it. And I can see it. That's why I keep telling our men that we have to teach. We have these heathens out here, these people of the nations, as well as people of Israel, who are murdering our people and doing all manner of foul things. And I've stated in my videos, in many of them, that a father teaches his son. So these people have never known righteousness. So therefore, we cannot turn to them begging for justice, peace, or any of those things. They don't know what it is. So the only way that they will know what peace is, what righteousness is, what is right, what is wrong, someone has to teach them. And that's where we come in. And that's why it's so imperative that we stand up and teach in righteousness, because the people of the earth don't know what it is.
Well, I also think that, you know, if we actually adhere to the law and, you know, walk in righteousness, yeah, we will avoid all the snares and everything, all the hardships that some of our people are going through. Those of our brothers who are getting shot on the streets and stuff, they might not have been breaking the laws of man, but I'm pretty sure they're breaking the Most High's laws.
Oh, for real. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last words, anybody, before we close up?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
Blessed be the name of Yah the King, the creator of heaven and earth and all there is above the heavens and the earth, the fountain of living waters and the only savior of the inhabitants of the earth. That's
Now,
my last
always, and
words.
forever.
All praises to the Most High.
Okay. Until next time.